While some billionaires are shooting off to Mars, Yvon Chouinard has spent his life and fortune saving planet Earth. You know, the only one NASA says has life on it. The eccentric mogul has challenged our beliefs about capitalism with his equally eccentric business practices. Here's how he created his environmentally conscious apparel and gear company, Patagonia. In 1953, Chouinard was just 14 years old. He and other members of the Southern California Falconry Club had only learned mountain climbing in search of falcon eyries, or what we call nests. Years later, Chouinard had addicted himself to scaling mountains all around America. He would go on to develop new climbing techniques and tools and map out new routes for future climbers. Chouinard Equipment Limited. In 1957, he decided to build better climbing tools for himself. So Chouinard went shopping at a metalworker's paradise, aka the scrapyard. There, he bought a second-hand coal-fired forge, a 138-pound anvil, and some tongs and hammers. Did I hear you say making TikTok videos and stuff? Well, have you ever tried teaching yourself blacksmithing? No? Well, that was exactly what Chouinard did. Having a handyman as a father must have come in handy for the young man at the time. He forged himself some fresh chrome molybdenum steel pitons, and when he took them out for climbs at Yosemite, his climbing partners couldn't take their eyes off his new gear. Gradually, the demands increased, and just like that, Chouinard was in business. With his portable workshop, he made 2 pitons per hour and sold each for $1.50. When he wasn't chasing the high tides on California's coastline or finding new summits to conquer, he sold his inventions out of his car trunk. But he barely earned a beggar's wage. Sometimes he had to hunt squirrels and porcupines to maintain his itinerant lifestyle. Gross? I've heard they taste like chicken though. Along with friend and fellow climber Tom Frost, he founded Chouinard Equipment Limited in 1965. The duo modeled their business on the words of French aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. In anything at all, perfection is finally attained, not where there is no longer anything to add, but when there is no longer anything to take away, when a body has been stripped down to its nakedness. Following these words religiously, they revolutionized climbing with their brand of strong, functional, and lightweight climbing hardware. Frost must have particularly enjoyed working on those ice climbing tools. By 1970, their pitons were everywhere. They were the Beyoncé of mountain climbing. Except for one bad news. Their tools were destroying the cracks of Yosemite. This prompted Chouinard and his partner to research alternatives and design the Hex, or Hexcentrics. Accompanied by an essay on how to use them, they rolled out the hand-wedged aluminum safety equipment that wiped out pitons like dinosaurs. Patagonia. Similar to his entry into tools crafting, Chouinard's clothing journey started as another happy accident. In 1970, he went to Scotland on a winter climbing trip and bought a rugby jersey for his climb. Its fabric was strong, and its thick collar reduced the strain of mountain climbing gear around his neck. When he returned home, it was déjà vu. His climbing mates began asking him where they could get theirs. In those early days, Patagonia's inventory featured rugby shirts from England and clothing items from Scotland, Austria, and Boulder, Colorado. Still applying Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's philosophy, Chouinard resolved to fix a long-time problem of the mountaineering apparel. Cotton, wool, and feathers of little birds called downs were the layers available at the time. Their shared flaw? They all absorbed moisture. So how did Chouinard overcome this hurdle? He began researching synthetic materials that could imitate the pile used by North American fishermen. Luckily for him, he married Malinda Pennoyer in 1971. And just as she later birthed their 2 children, she was pivotal in bringing his brainchild to life. During Chouinard's search for his pile, Malinda instinctively visited Malden Mills in Los Angeles. The textiles manufacturer's fake fur business had failed, but the stuff was just about perfect for Chouinard's idea. They did the necessary tailoring and tried out their creation in alpine conditions. To cut the long story short, their product was a hit. Patagonia had been a financial crutch for the unprofitable Chouinard equipment. However, in 1973, Chouinard separated his clothing business and named it Patagonia, after a popular mountainous expanse in South America. The next puzzle was to make underwear that was suitable for their clothes. Climbers were still wearing cotton underwear, which collected moisture and froze beneath the insulating pile. For this, they worked with polypropylene. In the catalog announcing the range of polypropylene undergarments, they taught climbers how to layer their clothes, and the new style caught on. Sticking to their culture of continuously improving their products, they began funding research for better materials. With the help of Malden Mills, they developed their trademark Synchilla fleece. Later, in 1984, Chouinard discovered polyester jerseys made by Milliken. He collaborated with them to make Patagonia's trademark capilene polyester for their underwear line. And in 1985, they phased out their polypropylene underwear as their customers bought into new technology. Over 5 decades later, Patagonia is worth $3 billion. More interestingly, it is a renowned fashion brand, which wasn't what it set out to be. How did boring mountain clothes become cool? True, as the years rolled on, Patagonia experimented with colors and different designs to create variety for its consumer base. But from its origin story, you can see Patagonia was made for outdoor sports requiring rugged clothing. The real magnet for Patagonia was their way of doing business. They have shown through the years that people and the planet are their priorities. It's normal to find children at their on-site childcare center or in their cafeteria eating mostly organic food with their parents. Imagine every day being bring your child to work day. Phew. Apart from families at work, Patagonia's workspace is as informal as it gets. In addition to not having private offices since 1984, workers wear what they want, walk barefooted about the business area, and surf or play volleyball at lunch. Don't worry, it's totally okay to be jealous. At the heart of Patagonia's activities, however, is Chouinard's genuine concern for the environment. In 1994, they sponsored an environmental audit of 4 of their most used fabrics, and the results exposed the negative effects of the cotton they used. Again, Chouinard was forced to act in the interest of nature. To correct this, the company switched completely to organic cotton in 1996. After a $4,000 donation helped save the Ventura River in the 1970s, Patagonia started actively working with grassroots environmental advocacy groups. Initially, they pledged 10% of their profits to support these groups, but later changed it to 1% of their sales, regardless of profitability. The latter spawned their estimates of the 1% of the Planet initiative in 2002. It's behaviors like these and their commitment to green initiatives that have made Patagonia a thriving outlier in the capitalist system. In case you missed it, Yvon Chouinard doesn't own Patagonia anymore. In 2022, he and his family transferred their ownership to Holfest Collective and Patagonia Purpose Trust to support environmental causes with the message, "Earth is now our only shareholder." In a world where everyone is searching for gold, Chouinard found it on the mountaintop, brought it down to the earth, and gave it all away. If you'd like to watch more inspiring stories about great entrepreneurs, like this video and subscribe for more.